everybody. And yes, that's all of you out there. I'm Russell Hill. I'm your host of WTF, which is What the Fixed Ops podcast. And we have somebody very special today. But first, I'm joined today by...
I'm Charity. I'm your co-host here today. And we're excited. We have Adam Marburger. He is the CEO of Ascent Dealer Services and Automotive News 40 Under 40 honoree, author of the book, You're the Fcking Problem, a guide to getting out of your own way, as well as a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and kickboxing coach and a whole plethora of many other things, Adam. But for those who don't know you yet, just give us a quick version of who you are, what drives you, and what Ascent Dealer Services is all about.
Would love to. Hey, first of all, thanks for having me. It's an honor and a privilege. Easiest way to describe myself is I'm a serial entrepreneur on a pursuit just to be better today than I was yesterday. I do a lot of different things and a lot of verticals. My baby is Ascent Dealer Services. Sometimes I say it's my fourth and sometimes favorite child. But this company means a lot to me. I'm a lifelong automotive F&I manager, and I just love serving the industry. And I'm proud to be the CEO of Ascent Dealer Services. We provide F&I products, reinsurance, DOWCs. We're experts in that space, and we work with a lot of dealers.
Excellent. Well, it seems like Ascent has seen some magnificent growth over the last 6 years. So what were the key decisions or principles that you think got you there?
That's a great question. What I found out, after I read my book that I wrote, You're the Fcking Guide to Getting Out of Your Way, that statement, what got us here is not going to get us there, is so true, because I built this company using referrals on social media, and I built it. We built a very nice business, but I realized that I just couldn't do it alone. After reading the book Traction, I realized I'm a visionary. I need an integrator. I brought on a partner who's an integrator, and now we've scaled to another level. So understanding the art of delegation, understanding the art of not being a control freak, understanding the art of not being great at everything, and focus on the things that we are truly exceptional are, you can scale. And that's exactly what we did at Ascent Dealer Services. We put people in the right places, very defined objectives with defined goals, and lots of accountability.
That's awesome. Listen, sales is a struggle for every vendor, and we know that all too well, particularly having the same entrepreneurial spirit, not necessarily to the level that you have it. It takes a lot. It takes a commitment, getting up every day, focusing on things you're good at. And you built a high-performance sales culture, two of which I was fascinated to find out. I'm really close to Fred and Lou that are on your team. And the reason I remember them very well, because we rolled out our first product January 7th of 2020. And on the 20th of January, Lou and Fred rolled out their, and they were still, until they could replace their income, I guess. They were still in automotive and doing their deal. So great members to your team there. Can you tell us about the process and accountability and anything else necessary to have successful salespeople? Because we need those too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to rant for a minute, because there's a pieces to this. First of all, Fred and Lou are dear friends of mine. I've been friends with them for 2 decades. And they're good. They're good assets to the team. They're a referral base for us. We sing their praises. They sing our praises. They're just phenomenal humans. But we realized that most people cannot sell to dealers. Like, there's hunters and then there's farmers, and they're both very important roles. I made mistakes in the past thinking everybody could sign deals, right? Because I'm signing deals. I thought everybody could get to a dealer principal. I thought everybody could bring a solution to a dealer principal and put a deal together. The reality is that's the farthest thing from the truth. I would say in the industry, depending on the product and service you're selling, in my industry, less than 5% of us have that skill set to actually sell. So what I realized was, I'm doing this all wrong. I'm putting pressure on my wonderful coaches that are in stores, making it rain, driving production, driving PVR, but I'm wanting them to go sell too. And so then these folks out in the field were getting stressed out, like, oh my gosh, Adam's on me. I'm not selling, I can't close, but I'm really good at coaching. So we made a decision, thank God for James for this, to divide the agency into two. There's hunters and then there's farmers. And so we have our executive coaches that are out driving PVR, rolling up their sleeves, getting involved into transactions and helping dealers sell more cars and sell more F&I products. And then we have our coaching staff. Their job, their sales division, their job is just to go out and new account acquisition. And so changing that culture has brought so much less anxiety to everybody. And now we all focus on what we do best. Our coaches coach, our salespeople sell. The key to lifting up salespeople is just true mentorship. Our culture is unbreakable at Ascent. Like, we are a family, we're a team, we travel together, we do life together. And so the whole thing is constant pouring into your sales team, being readily available, giving them the tools, the ability to jump on a plane at any time to go sit in any meeting. I did that yesterday. It was a 19-hour day yesterday. I had to go see one of my agents to get in front of a dealer. So it's giving them the tools to be successful, but most importantly, giving them as much of you as you can. Like, and that's how we've and one last thing to this, the magic is on social media. It's how do we show up on social media? How do we present ourselves on social media? What is our message? What is our call to action? So we train our salespeople to use social at a very high level.
Tell us more about that, the social media.
Yeah. So we built our agency on social. So the old Facebook and LinkedIn is how we did it. I can say I've only knocked on a few doors. I don't really knock doors. We get the inbound leads online. And when you do get an inbound lead, it's a little bit different. Like, if you're cold calling a dealer, you get past the gatekeeper, the dealer's like, who are you? I don't have an appointment. But if the lead comes to you on LinkedIn, you set the appointment. Not only do you show up getting like a hug, they give you a tour of the place, they introduce you to a handful of people, then you sit down in the office to talk a little business. That's a different animal, right?
It is, totally.
Really warm opportunity opposed to cold. So the key to social media is showing up and staying consistent. It's not sell, 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 sell. It's sharing your personal life, sharing things, educational things, relevant things, sprinkled in with your personal life. As you don't want to be posting drinking shots at a bar, like, but showing your family and your daughters traveling and showing your personal life about 20% of the time, but then sprinkle in who you are, the company that you represent, why it's important, and a call to action is the most important thing. I put my cell phone out there nonstop. Dealers call, text me every day of the week, 24/7, 365. I'm responding to you. So that's the magic. I would say consistency, and where people fail is the consistency.
Do you also do online stuff, or do you always show up in person, or is it a combination depending on what the needs are?
It's a great question. I'll do a Zoom meeting for an intro call with a dealer just to see if you like me and I like you. Mm-hmm. So I don't mind doing that intro call, but you can't, in my space, some may agree with this, some may disagree. There are 4 switches that I think are very hard for a dealer. Okay. You've got your floor plan switch, changing floor plan. That's not an easy task. Okay. Your DMS, that's a big decision.
Huge. Yeah.
DMS, because you're changing the culture. There's so much work that has to be done. CRM is a big switch. And then the F&I products. I think the F&I product switch unequivocally is the most difficult switch, because a lot of people don't realize there's millions and millions of dollars attached to that switch due to reinsurance positions, insurance positions. So it's very, very difficult. And so what I try to do is I need to be in person. Like, I want to get to know my dealer client. I want to have a personal relationship with my client as well. It isn't all work. I want to do business with people that I like, and I think that's reciprocated back. So you gotta be in person. And a lot of these deals, they take a year, 2 years. You're not going in and in the first meeting, you're not pitching anything. We have no right to pitch our products and services if I don't know who the heck you are.
Especially the magnitude of the products and services that you have, for sure.
Yeah. So to answer, I'll land the plane. That was a long-winded response. Can we do some things on Zoom? We do a lot of training on Zoom. But when we're trying to acquire a new account, it's got to be in person, especially a new car franchise.
Now back to social media. You're mostly pushing organic social media, right? You're not doing paid stuff, or you maybe mix of both.
Great question. Everything we've done to this point is organic. We just hired, and I'll plug them, Abstract Marketing out of St. Louis. They're a big company. I finally hired a full service marketing agency. And so, yes, we're going to start doing a little paid ads here and there. But just until now, we've never really been in that paid game.
Yeah. Well, don't get your hopes up about paid ads.
Yeah, we are just now. We're just now experiencing some of that. Other than that, it's been Charity and Patrick, combination there organically for the last. We're not quite 6 years old, but getting close. Yeah.
Organic is miles better than paid.
Every agency that I've ever hired, I've never gotten a result, and it's not just one individual. Every company that I've ever hired for the last 7 years almost that has since been around is talked, but there's never been walk. There's never been a lead. I've never converted a lead. It is, and so I've been so, like, I don't want to say depressed, but I've been kind of down on my daubers. But then I ran into a woman that works for Abstract that another high-level car dealer said, you should hire them yesterday. And after meeting their team, their specialists on each part, like I'm so blown away with their professionalism, and so far things are going well. Now, let's see if we produce some leads. So
do they just do automotive and stuff like? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we play in we've got great RV clients, power sports, marine, but predominantly new car franchise dealers. We do work with independents. We're very selective on independents. You got to walk and talk like a new car franchise dealer, because the independent space is very, very, it's dicey. You got a lot of bad actors out there, a lot of bad actors in the independent game. There's a lot of great actors, but there's a lot of bad ones that give the good ones such a bad name. So we're very cautious on the independent space. Good
for you. Well, I'll remember that name, Abstract, just in case, because we've experienced exactly what you're talking about, and it just hadn't been any real fruit.
It's hard to quantify too, the marketing and advertising. It's like, how do you quantify it? Like, you could get a deal, could come 8 months from now from an ad. You just never really know. But I do want to see inbound action. I just want forms being filled out, leads in my inbox for us to immediately reach back out and let's get a hold of these folks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Quick question just entered my mind. So I know the services that you offer and the things that you do, very high level. And of course, you bring a lot of intensity and everything's about relationships. It's all about relationships. These products and services that you have through F&I, are they available after the fact for consumers?
Absolutely, they are. And they should be. Here, let's talk about service department for a minute. The service department's the biggest opportunity to sell F&I products in the industry. How many consumers elect not to buy a service contract at time of sale? Right?
A lot.
And let's be honest real quick. Years ago, I was trained the best F&I people. It's about making as much money as you can, highest PVR. Yep. We were never trained on retention. My reps never trained me on retention. We train our F&I. We don't train F&I managers. We train F&I professionals. F&I professionals, their job is to keep the dealer compliant, secure the sale, and happily engage the retail customer in the service department with F&I products that wed them to that service department.
Absolutely.
They have an incredible ownership experience so they can come back again and again and again. Now, not all customers buy products. You got post-sale products you could put in your F&I department. You can market, advertise it. You can train service writers. When we see that you got a 42,000-mile Nissan Altima that's out of factory warranty, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I took the liberty to put a few options together for you. You can pay up front for this product, or you can pay monthly for this product, which a lot of customers love, right? Yep. You have so much opportunity in that service department. It's crazy.
It's phenomenal. I was just curious because most of the time you don't ever hear or see, and that's a direct. I mean, these people are coming in your service department. It's designed for them to do that for retention and repeat business, and not only that, referral, right? but it's still relationships. And if they're not bringing this stuff up and they're out of, on and on and on, it sets the stage. It certainly does.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. How are you finding good salespeople in this business?
Ooh, breathe on that one, man.
Great question. Well, here, I would love to say I'm using Indeed and recruiters and headhunters. It's not. I'll give you an example. I'm about to hire a VP of acquisition. One organic post on Facebook and LinkedIn. One. Facebook and LinkedIn. 74 applicants. Out of the 74 applicants, 20 of them are uber qualified. So I'm not saying I'm not a big deal. I'm a nobody in the world. I've been in retail for so long that I'm really plugged in automotive. So I use social media for almost everything. So when I want to hire a new coach or I want to find a new sales professional, I just put it on the old Facebook and I put it on LinkedIn and then they show up. So that's how I do it.
Yeah. Earlier you were talking about 5%. So I was on the retail side for 16 years, but on the vendor side since then, and this is my 40th year. And what I learned by cold calling, and it is a lost art. There's just not a lot of people that can really do that kind of stuff, whether it be on the phone or actually in person, dropping in, because there's so many variables involved. We had a discussion about this yesterday on We Are, and good point. And it's tough to find even the ones that are uber qualified. They may, yeah.
Very hard. I mean, here's the thing though, like, I have found too that people out of retail, like I'm an F&I guy. That's what I am. And I got a lot of F&I people that want to do what I do. And I talk them out of it. Like, cause the failure rate is almost 100. Like
they don't know. They have no clue.
Here's the thing in F&I, you sit in your nice little chair in your fancy little office in your nice clean clothes and deals are brought to you. Here you go. Here's a deal. But on the vendor side, you got to go find the client. And it's an awkward thing when you're used to just being served deals. So it takes some time. I think it's the people that succeed are the people that have patience, that can take rejection at the highest level, those that can think quick on their feet, those that are creative. I mean, there's a couple of ways. Like I learned a couple of tricks. Instead of walking into the showroom floor and going to the ultimate gatekeeper at the tower there or at the receptionist desk, they're trained to not get you to the dealer.
Oh yeah.
Right? Well, why not walk in? Dealers, if this has worked on you, I'm sorry if there's dealers listening to this. Call me, we can talk through this. But like, why not go to the parts counter? It's amazing. People truly want to help you. People do.
They do. I agree.
Why not just go to the parts counter and say, hey, listen, I need some help. If you're willing to help me, I'd be so appreciative. I've got something I need to give to the GM or the dealer. Can you point me in the right direction real quick? And if you say it the right way, and how many people are going to the parts and service counter? Like those people, they're like sitting there all day, they don't feel like they help anybody. Well, of course they don't help, right? I'm not saying that's what we should do. I'm just saying that's an example, right? I mean, you just got to be the best people are just creative outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something, I think it was Julie Douglas with Dealer Pay. She showed me something one time. She delivered a pizza to the dealership, to the dealer, and it had one slice missing out of the pizza. So she had the driver take it out, write on a Sharpie, I'm your missing piece, please call me. Right?
Wow.
That's the difference between exceptional status quo. It's that outside the box, because you just want, I'll tell you one more thing here, because this worked for me. I put a deal together doing this. But I have I do have. So, okay. So I had these $1 million poker chips made. I was in a dealer in Missouri. This was like 2 years ago. I walked to the parts counter. I said, hey, I need your help. I've got to drop something off. Where's the dealer sit? And the reflex, she goes, right over there in that office. I said, perfect. So I walked up. I said, hey, sir. I go, you don't know me and I don't know you, but I have something for you. He was like, what? I go, hey, I'm in the area on an appointment. I'm in the area on an appointment. I saw your store. It's beautiful, by the way. I'm feeling generous today. Keep this. That's $1 million. And he goes, what the heck? And he looks at it. It's $1 million. Well, what do you mean it's $1 million? I go, dealers that work with me and my company after 12 months increase their F&I profits from front to back right at $1 million. Not here to sell you anything today. I just want you to hold on to that. You never know when you need some help. And he asked me on the spot to have a seat. And he was having a problem with his current provider with a claim, lack of support. 3 weeks later, it typically takes a year to do these deals. 3 weeks later, signed documents, deal was closed.
Yeah.
It's just different, right? Hey, my competitors, if they're watching this, don't steal.
Oh, listen. I made me think of one I haven't shared in a while. So this was back long before the pandemic, but because you wouldn't be able to do it today. But I kept calling on this one dealer and just couldn't make any headway. So I went to a gag store and bought a bunch of feet, a foot with a pant leg over, just the ankle, just the foot itself. And I wrote a personal note. Okay. Now that my foot is in the door, I'd like to have a quick conversation with you. And I put that in a box with the foot and left it with the gatekeeper. And he still has it to this day, 20 years later. Yeah, that was great. I love that $1 million thing, though. That's really good.
That's fantastic, Russell. That's a great idea. I might borrow that.
Please do.
Yeah.
Now, they're great on Halloween, too.
Yeah, you got to be real careful. So it's wrapped. You don't know what they're thinking today, a bomb in the box or whatever the case may be. But, it's something different. It's out of the box like what you did. Gatekeepers are so important. Some of them discount them, and they are the most important people to get to the person you need to get a hold of. You build a relationship with them, and I'm telling you, it's over. It's good.
Let me tell you about a partner that's actually helping dealers get ahead. Global Dealer Solutions. If you've been wondering how to use AI the right way in your dealership, especially on the fixed side, these are the people to call. Their team gets it. Not just the tech, but the real challenges that dealerships face every day. We're talking about conversational AI that doesn't just respond, it converts. It books appointments, follows up with service leads, even answers customer questions with actual relevance. It's not replacing your team, it's making sure your team can focus on what matters most, closing ROs and building relationships. But GDS isn't just about AI. They train your staff, drive traffic, and tighten up processes so your results stick long after the tool is turned on. And everything they do is built around one goal, growth that is real. If you want more service traffic, better follow-up, and a partner that's always a step ahead, check them out. Visit gdsdealers.com, follow them on LinkedIn at gdsdealers, or just shoot them a message and ask, what would you do with my store? And see what they come back with. Global Dealer Solutions, process-driven, people first, always on it.
And you got to change your mindset too. Like I have a gatekeeper. I own a bunch of companies. You got to get through Laura to get to. And you know what? The thing is, you got to respect that.
No doubt.
I believe this. That car dealers are the most entrepreneurial people in the world.
Yes, they are.
New car franchise dealers that run at a high level are the most entrepreneurial people in the world. Their time is sacred. We have to respect that. So when a gatekeeper is doing their job, we can't get our dollars down. They're just doing their job, right? So we got to, like you just said, that's an important relationship. Why not build a relationship? Why not change the word around too? It's like, it's called a pattern interrupt. Why not just say, hey, listen, I know you're here to protect the dealer and the general manager's time, and I love, respect, and appreciate that. But I have something that's really valuable that might make you more valuable in the company if you could just get me an opportunity.
Yep.
I'm going to leave this with you, and I'm going to follow up with you next week. Hopefully you can help me.
And I'm telling you, they haven't heard that.
Yeah.
They haven't heard that. That's a phenomenal pattern interrupt.
Yeah.
Just because of the way that they're approached. If you think out of the box and you have different word tracks, but it needs to be genuine, right? But if they see the excitement, enthusiasm, I have gotten them to go out of their way to make sure the connection happens, just because they just loved it. Just the whole approach, it's important. It is
Very, very much so,
man.
Yeah, back in the day, I used to be a gatekeeper, and there were people who got through just because of how kind they were and genuine they were. And I was like, you know what? Let's give this one a shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, great stuff, man. God, Great stuff.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
I bumped. Before you go on, Adam, I bumped. This is a wonderful opportunity to get to know you more and what you do. Although I knew a little bit about what you do, but it's like how many years I've been bumping into you at one place or another, seeing you.
Airports. Yeah, we've ran into each other at airports. You were in my city in St. Louis last time I think I saw you.
Is that what? Oh, okay.
I think you were in St. Louis. I don't remember for what, but it might have been a year ago. I don't remember. I'm on an airplane too often.
Yeah. And then, well, I think the very last time I saw you, we tried to connect and talk a little further. Was a SodaCon.
Oh yeah, that's right. What a great conference.
Oh man, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Really great. Very personal. Yeah.
I put it on my calendar already. My plan is for sure to be there.
Absolutely. Anyway, you're a phenomenal powerhouse, great influencer, excited, motivated, inspirational. It's great to have people in the industry like you and to be connected to people like you. So love everything that you do. Charity. We're moving. Are we moving? We're moving.
we're moving on. Excuse me. Yes, we're moving on to mindset and leadership topics. So let's see. Let me be a little picky. Okay. You talk a lot about servant leadership. Can you tell us what that means in practice and how does it differ from the command and control leadership style most of us grew up with?
That's a wonderful question.
It is indeed.
So what I found my first half of my F&I career, I was really good at what I did. I ran the numbers. I was focused more on myself. And something happened. It was right around when I turned 30. I had some things in my life happen that humbled me. I think when I started having kids and just I grew up and I realized there's a better way. And if you treat the guest, they're not customers. If you treat the guest like they're in your own home, you could sell a little bit more. So now I'm going to talk first about customer facing servant leadership. And then we'll talk about staff facing. But if you truly serve people, and you help them get what they want, eventually you typically get what you want.
No doubt.
I found by just putting them first and getting involved early in the transaction, I put a process in place on the showroom floor at my store where before the deal was ever a deal, before the customer or the guest ever agreed to transact, I would walk out on the showroom floor. They'd be sitting down. I'd do a flying TO. I'd walk out and say, "Hi, I'm Adam and you are?" Fantastic. I just want to come out quickly, introduce myself. I'm one of the finance managers here. And in the event that you decide to purchase from us, I handle all the legalities. I do the paperwork. I do the titling. I found that some customers have some questions, and I'm the one that answers those questions. And I want to invite you to my office if you need me. My office is right over there. I have an open door policy. I'm here.
I love it.
I can get you while you're waiting on your salesperson. Great. I hope I get to see you later, right? So what happens now, right? First impressions are the most difficult thing to land. It's the most important thing in a sales transaction. You got a couple of seconds to land a good first impression, and it will last throughout the transaction. So now fast forward, the customer guest agrees to purchase. Now I have the deal from the sales manager. Now I get to go back out again. Oh my God, Charity, it's me again. Hey, do you mind if I have a seat with you? Hoping I get to see you. Right now, it's a different conversation.
Totally different.
A completely different conversation, right? So now, what do you think? What do you think product sale? Like your closing rates go up when people like you. People want to buy from people that they like and somewhat.
Yes, they do.
That's it. So now, same thing with salespeople. How do we serve at a higher level? I wrote about it in my book, Servant Leading F&I Manager. I put out the blueprint. It's more of a textbook. And I gave you the text on how to really do this. So your sales, from an F&I standpoint, your sales manager is your best friend. They're your best friend. They're the architect, you're the finished carpenter. And we have the same goal to help a customer with their transportation needs and get them into service. That's what our goal is, right? So I would sit down with my sales manager every morning. What do you need? Do you got any manager follow-ups? Can I do for you? Do you have any deals I can prep and have ready for you? Do you need to leave at any point today to go anywhere and do anything? I'll sit your chair for you, right? I'm building that bond with my sales manager. I'm serving my sales manager. Same thing with my salespeople. I would sit and I would take the log from back in the day, we would write on a log.
Uplog, the old uplog.
I'd sit in front of my salesperson and dial. Hey, Mr. Johnson. Hey, this is Adam. I'm one of the sales managers here at ABC Motors. I just want to reach out. A, thank you for coming in yesterday. But B, I noticed that you didn't leave with a vehicle. I just wanted to see, is there anything that we did wrong? Or is there anything I can do as a sales manager that can help you? And I would just dial for my salespeople, and I would bring people back in. What do you think that did for me? I would get customers back in. I'm not even
Absolutely.
a sales manager. And then I'd get in their heads a little bit. Hey, what's going well in your life? What's not going so well? We could talk personally too. Is there anything going on in your life? Anything I could do to help you? I just would dig into people and get into their head and just love on people. And so servant leadership displayed, you can do it in so many facets in the store, but we just don't pay attention to it. We don't pay attention to it because we get so laser beam focused on ourselves. But if we focus on everyone else, our personal life just gets better. And the culture and the work environment is just much better. I would rather spend 12 hours in a store where we all like each other and we're all rowing in the same direction, opposed to being 12 hours in a store. And I've been in these stores, 12 hours in a store where the desk hates F&I and F&I's, I don't want to curse, mad at the sales floor. Everybody's in disarray, right? The first option is a much better option, right?
No doubt. I learned that many years ago, similar, probably at a certain time where I had a major disruption, realized something's going to have to change. And I realized today there's a huge difference between managers and leaders, and particularly that of servant leaders. Managers just light a fire underneath people to get stuff done. Leaders light a fire inside people to want more and, be open, etc. But what I found overall, because people are thinking about themselves, and when I'm struggling, and it's really every day, I have moments where it's just like, this is the right time. I'll reach out to somebody and that I haven't talked to in a long time, send them a text message or call them. But I learned from interacting with Zig Ziglar that that's how you really get what you want, is by helping other people get what they want, by serving them. And what I realized today, it's even biblical, right? It's better to give than to receive. So I really believe that what I have in my life today is in direct proportion to what I give in my life. And it sounds like that's pretty applicable to you too.
Amen. I agree with that 100%. 100% agree with that. You get what you give, but one thing too is like, I'm a Christian man. I love the book of wisdom. And the rule is a great rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. In sales, I like to treat others the way they want to be treated. And so how do we find out who we're talking to, right? Ask the right question.
That's right.
Let them speak. Just listen. And we find out the personality type. We find out what motivates people. And then we can provide solutions to problems that customers don't realize they even have. Yeah.
Isn't that ultimately, if they like you, they trust you, they believe you, they buy from you? And that's applicable to everybody in our life that we encounter. People want one thing more than or just as much as a breath of fresh air or a drink of water when they're thirsty. And they want to know they count, they matter, they make a difference, and somebody else is paying attention.
Amen to that. Agreed 100% on that.
Yeah. Well, tell us about the victim mindset and a little bit about
Oh, man, do we want to talk about that on this show? Yeah, let's talk about it. Come on.
I've seen you write a lot about this.
Yeah.
So what patterns do you think cause those personality traits, and what can be done about it?
Yeah, the pattern, we're all products of our past. And a lot of us will use the past and the current. I tell people that, it's a disease. Like I do write about this victim mindset and people pleasing. It's a disease. Like I cannot spend time with anyone that has a victim mindset. The woe is me. The world is not fair. I can't, it makes me sick and nauseous. I can't deal with that.
But Adam, you don't understand. I suffer from terminal uniqueness. My situation's different, right? Yeah, no.
Yeah, right. And you hear that, but it's typically patterns of the past that they just can't shake and get out of their own way. And I think along the way, it's important to meet somebody special that can change the trajectory of someone's life. Because with me, I used to play victim a little bit. I used to play victim a little bit till I met a couple of mentors that slapped me around a little bit. And you realize the world's not fair. It never has been, never will be. And you need to get out of your own way.
Yeah, you're your own worst enemy.
Yeah. And so the victim mindset is truly a disease, and it can curse you for life. The most unfulfilled human That's that they live in that victim mindset. They're so unfulfilled. You find these type of people hating on you. You know, they see you doing things where they're sitting in their little bubble and woe is me, and they're not taking any action on it. So as far as patterns, Charity, a lot of these patterns are based on previous experience in their past. And a lot of people just can't get out of that. If you can forgive yourself and forgive others and start fresh today and not even think about yesterday, then we have an opportunity. But if we're stuck in yesterday and we can't forgive others and we can't forgive ourselves, and that's important, forgiving ourselves. If we can't do that, then we're going to stay in that place of victim mentality, period.
Well, hopefully, because I encounter a lot of those people, this is a phenomenal topic, but this is mostly about what your thoughts are on that. But I meet them all the time. There's only two kinds of people, dream makers and dream takers. That's all there is. And the ones that are the naysayers, maybe I planted a seed that someone else like you later on, something resonates, but they have to make significant changes if they want to go where they want to go, or they're going to keep getting the same thing over and over again, right?
Amen to that. I say it all the time. You keep doing what you're doing today, you're going to keep getting what you got, right? I mean, you got to change something. You got to change. Yeah. That drives me nuts. Like, you know, I'm going to go off topic here for a second, but like,
go off it.
People, I see this with dealers. You know, you get dealers and managers and people of all industries. I'm in the dental industry as well. So you got doctors, like you go to these conferences and you learn stuff. You get somebody incredible on stage that just really gets you motivated and inspired. They're all jacked up and jazzed up. Then you go back to life and do absolutely nothing different. It is the absolute, where I see people fail the most is the lack of action. The brilliant ideas, all the brilliant ideas I was going to pull, I don't have it here, but all the brilliant ideas are written in the form of books by the greats before us. Like if you read the book and take no action on it, you just read the book.
So you left one thing out. Those conferences are great. There's an apex or a pinnacle. You're feeling it, man. It makes sense. Wow, I got to make those changes. Then there's a break and you go out and buy all the crap out there that they're selling. Just it. I'm digging it. I'm going to read these books. I'm going to workbook it, and they don't do anything. Not a thing.
You see it all the time. You see it too, like in automotive. Like, you know, you have dealers and GMs. They'll go and they're like, "Oh, that's a great idea." Or you'll have another dealer say, "Hey, listen, this is how I did it. Here's the process. Here's how I held it accountable. Here's the results that we got. If you could just duplicate this," and then they don't do anything with it. Like they don't do anything with it. It's like, that's insanity to me. But that's in all industries. It's a human being. It's a trait that we possess. And, you know, those that get more do more, period.
Yeah. I've also seen too, where people like that, if something goes wrong in your life, they sort of celebrate that. In a way, they're like, "Oh, yay, you know, something's going terrible for you."
Haters are real. Yeah, haters are real. Yeah. I deal with that. Yeah, I deal with that. You know, I got haters and I got haters in disguise.
That's a shame. It's a real shame.
It's real, though. I mean, we all do. I mean,
it is.
If you're doing anything of impact, if you're doing anything of substance, there's always going to be somebody sitting on the sidelines waiting for you to fall.
Which means that you're doing something, and it's not about you. It's all about them, no doubt.
Yeah. Well, Grant Cardone, he's been a pretty big influence in my life in sales, but he's not for everyone. He's not everybody's cup of tea, but the guy drinks champagne anyway. So, but he would always talk about, if you don't have any haters, go get you some, because you're not.
Yeah, that's right.
Go get you some haters. You got to have some haters. Yeah. I embrace the hate, you know?
Yeah. When you're doing something, unfortunately, there's people talking good and bad about you. And the point is, you're doing something.
Amen. Agreed.
Yeah. Well, you know, on the topic of toughness, you've said before that life doesn't get easier. We just get stronger. How do you personally build grit when things get hard?
It's a great question. I think it all has to do with your core beliefs in yourself, your mindset, the structure that you have in your life, the non-negotiables that you have in place, you know, because regardless, you go through one season and then things can go okay. Something bad's going to happen again. Like
inevitably,
always something going to happen in your personal life, with your kids, with your vocation, with your health. There's always something. So to be able to stay even keel, it's the non-negotiables, it's the morning routine, it's the belief in self, and most importantly, I think, it's our tribe. Like if we're surrounded by a circle of really strong influence, when one falls, the other's there to lend a hand.
That's right.
If you're rolling with degenerates, you're stuck.
Yeah.
You'll be a degenerate. So so to answer that question, it's the non-negotiables, it's the morning routine, it's the mindset, it's what are you putting into your body, mentally, physically, when it comes to our nutrition,
emotionally, spiritually, all the above. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then it's the circle of influence. Hang out with winners and you'll win more often. And if you hang out with winners, they're going to lift you up when you're going through some bad stuff.
It's so simple.
Yeah.
But but most people aren't willing. My mentor, when he showed up or I showed up, however it happened, when I was ready, I took the gloves off, whatever. He looked at me and he said, Russell, are you willing to do the things that other people are not willing to do so you can have and become the things that most people will never have and never become because they're not willing to do the work? That was a tough question. And that was the proverbial close, because after that, he shut up until I started talking and I just spewed all over myself. But it made a significant impact on me. And to this day, I mean, I got 5 books on my desk. I mean, I'm just, what a routine. Now you're into the martial arts in a big way. My first routine is I make my bed in the morning. I have to do that. It's just part of what I have to do. Something I completed already first thing. Yeah.
That's smart to do that. That's so smart to knock something right off the list as soon as you wake up.
Yep.
You said something brilliant a second ago, and I've got a friend. His name's Eddie Pinero. He's got an incredible YouTube channel. It's called Your World Within. If you are having kind of a down day, you listen to that channel. If you're having a good day, you'll have a great day. He's brilliant. But he has a quote. It says, I welcome discomfort today so I can turn it into an advantage tomorrow. I mean, so discomfort.
Say it again.
Yeah, I welcome discomfort today so I can turn it into an advantage tomorrow.
Man.
Yeah, like the grinding in the gym and the focus and the saying no to things. I mean, that's kind of uncomfortable at times. We want to go do these things. We want to go eat that. We want to go drink that. We want to go with that. We want to go to that party. We want to go do all these things. But if we have discomfort and structure and organization today, the good stuff will come tomorrow. And I love that. It really is something I wrote that down years ago when
I know it happens that way. That's the way it happened. For all of you out there listening, there's a difference between discomfort and comfort, because none of that stuff happens if you're comfortable. Yeah. You don't do anything. All you do is look at people that are stepping out, making things happen, and it's not even about them. It's all about you, me, us, because we're not doing anything. We just disrupted their life because we see somebody like Adam go out there and do what's necessary to make it happen.
Yeah.
Simple formula, but it's so difficult, isn't it? It's
simple but difficult. It's simple but difficult. You got to do the work.
Wow.
Got to do the work.
Wow. Okay.
Well, failure is a theme in every successful failure is a theme in every success story. What's one failure that ended up being the best thing that could have happened to you?
Got a lot of failures. So
yeah.
We don't have the hours to go over all of them. I've had some pretty big failures. But in business, in 2017, I invested in a software as a service company. And at the time, my $100,000 investment was a lot of money to me. I needed the cash. I was going through some things personally. Mm-hmm. And I put $100,000 into this deal. And I allowed controlling interest. I was a minority partner, which I'm not in any of my companies now, but I was a minority partner in that company. And this guy robbed me. He stole all the money and we bankrupted our company. And so that failure allowed me to do business differently going forward. I'm not, I don't want to say I'm an aggressive business person. I'm a tough business person. I love doing business, but I make decisions. I got to get to know people. I will not partner on a deal with anyone until I really get to know them, until I really do my due diligence. As a matter of fact, we won't even hire anybody on our companies without series of interviews and meeting spouses and getting out to dinner to see how they act in public and all of the things. So that failure in that software company that needed the cash at the time taught me a whole lot about business and people, and I haven't made that mistake since.
It's a good one. It's a good failure story.
Yeah, it is. And it probably propelled you even further today. You can maybe even attribute to that lesson learned back then. I would think anyway. Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. Yes.
Well, when it comes to building an elite team, what's your formula?
Great question. First of all, it starts from the inside out. The culture has to be dialed in first. So before you attract new, okay, you got to have it all. You got to have a process. You got to have a culture. So it starts from within. So culture is everything. I will tell you, the best book in the world, in my opinion, for business right now is Unreasonable Hospitality by Will Guidara. He was a restaurateur at 11 Madison Park. He changed that restaurant from the inside out, created this culture that then attracted great people, not just customers, but people that wanted to work there. So it starts from the inside out.
Yeah, his story at Ascent was amazing year before last.
I wasn't there for that. I'm bummed out. His story he's an incredible writer. That book, Unreasonable Hospitality, if we're not practicing that as leaders, as business owners, that's the book we need to read right now.
I've not heard of that one. I'll take a look at it.
Yeah. One of my favorite quotes in that book is, service is the thing that we do, but hospitality is how we make people feel when we're doing the thing that we do.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because that's what they remember more than anything is how you made them feel.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, speaking of books, let's talk about your book for a moment.
Let's talk about that.
I love the title. You're the Fcking Problem. In that book, you challenge people to get out of their own way. What's the most common way that people end up sabotaging themselves?
Okay, I can answer that, but let's back up for a minute. So I want to pull the story. I titled that book. So I'm a Christian, and I had other fellow Christians. Oh my God, how can you love God and use that language? Well, I have to preface why I titled that book. 2019 going through the darkest year of my life. 2019 built my life. February, my stepdad died of a stroke. And like within a couple of days, my business partner that founded this company with me took his own life on April 1st. The next month, my grandfather died. And then the next month, I go through a divorce. So I self-sabotaged myself. So from there, for 90 days, I'm drinking, I'm running around, I'm doing all the bad stuff. And I looked in the mirror in August, and I was just so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I said, Adam, you're the effing problem. So I titled the book, You're the Effing Problem, because that's exactly what I said to myself. And it's a guide to getting out of your own way. So here, let me answer your question with that. Is the victim mentality and the self-sabotage I had to conquer to get past that.
That's right.
It's what was holding me back. Yeah, there were some bad things that happened, right? Out of my control. But the victim mindset, the woe is me, and the self-sabotage kept me from doing what I'm doing today.
That's right.
So that's exactly what I did. Is I got out of my own way, immediately started cutting friends. I stopped hanging out with these people that were horrible influence. They just wanted to party and they wanted me to pay the tab, right? I'm hanging with all the wrong people doing all the wrong things. You know what? I'll shout out Chris Saraceno. Chris Saraceno is a car dealer in the Northeast. He's written books. He's an awesome human being. I read his book, and a lot of his story was similar to my story of our life. So I reached out to him. I said, Chris, I know we kind of friends online. I go, but I could use some mentorship, man. I need some help. He gave me time and invested into me. So I started following people like him and Lisa Copeland and Glenn Lucky and Dan Moore and Jonathan Dawson. I started seeking people that are doing great things and doing more than me. That's how I got the heck out of my own way and changed my life right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've heard you say several things, what you read, who you associate with, and what you listen to. And if we don't deal with those things, we're going to keep getting the same results. Those things have to be dealt with. You have to get out of your own way.
Amen. Amen. Yeah. And we're all at our own level. Like typically, like it's not you, it's me, right? It's typically us. We're the freaking problem. Like it's us. And a lot of us are so self-awareness. Dan Moore wrote a book, Do More, Get More, and it's about being self-aware. Like being self-aware is the most incredible trait one can possess. You know, it's important to listen to others. You may think you're doing a thing or being a way, but are you really? And you got to associate with people that will hold you accountable, real accountability, tell you the things you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Right. And so that self-awareness is an ingredient we need to succeed.
No doubt. Wow. Heavy duty stuff there.
I'm trying to jot down authors too, as you say them, keep track of some of those books. Well, one more question about your book before we have to wrap up. But if you could put one concept from your book on a billboard for everyone in the automotive industry to see, what would it say?
Wow.
Question. Oh my goodness.
It's a hard one too.
Yeah. So if I could put any quote,
or concept.
No, let me think on this for a second here.
Okay.
Your past may have gotten you to where you are now, but it has no bearing on where you could go or where God's destined you to go. So that concept, like, as we get so hung up as human beings on what we did, the mistakes, the failures, the drama, the stuff, the failed marriage, the situations, the failure of life and business, that we get stuck. And if we can understand that past has built us up to be where we are here, but there's so much more to have. If we can get past that, we can have it all. I believe it. We can have it all. And all is subjective. Like, having it all could be something different for everybody on this call.
No doubt.
But having it all for me is doing what I want, when I want, with whoever I want. That's having it all for me. It's not dollars. It's not money.
Those are byproducts. Yeah, absolutely.
Live life on your own terms. I want to live life on my own terms. That's why I'm an entrepreneur. I'm unemployable. Can't hire me. So definitely corporate America would not want me. However, so that statement is, your past got you to where you are today, but it doesn't have any bearing on where you're supposed to go.
That's a powerful, extremely reflective, thought-provoking, and I don't know what it is, but it's our job to help people understand that. And they have to deal with those demons of the past. Everybody's got them. For me, what I found is there's an emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual bottom that I hit that was part of my change. But the spiritual connection is extremely important. Religion, whatever it is, you have to believe in something greater than yourself. I just firmly believe that.
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely.
Wow. Man.
Well, Adam, are there any questions today that we didn't ask you that you wish we have?
I got it. Boom.
Or anything you wanted to say?
Yeah, anything.
No, we were all over the place. There was a lot of, this was a great conversation, by the way. I really enjoyed this. Russell, it's really great to kind of chat it up with you, because, we've been friends from a distance, right? And so it's nice to really kind of connect. And I look forward to connecting with you a lot more in the future.
Me as well. Me as well.
Yeah. And Charity, it was great chatting with you as well. So, I would sound off on this note, and this is specific to automotive, because I've been kind of on one lately, that there's more out there. There's so much more out there. We have to honestly, and we'll go back to this, we have to get out of our own way. We have to understand, even as dealer operators, there's different levels out there, and we have to be willing to make change. We have to change things. We cannot continue to do what we're doing. We can't continue to just be okay. I challenge people to be curious. We need to be curious with our self-development. We need to be curious about our people excelling. We've got to be curious on grabbing more market share. We have to be curious on evolution. We have to get out of our own way, be willing to change, and have a high level of curiosity, and we can freaking dominate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, Charity, thank you for all that you do and making this connection happen. Patrick, for the editing. For all of you out there listening, Adam Marburger, like him, love him, reach out to him, say hello to him, make comments about something. These are very thought-provoking things that we talk about, but a lot of people don't internalize them. And get the book, read his book, get involved, just get involved and be curious. And if you want more, you're going to get more. But there's certain things you have to do, and some of which you heard here. But in order to hear those, you're going to have to listen to them. So this is another wrapped and successful WTF podcast, and that's what the fixed ops to all of you out there. But we didn't even talk about fixed operations that much, did we? No, we didn't. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, it was a great time today. Thank you.
Yeah.